Cheryl.
Oh, I'm here, sorry.
Eric.
Here.
Richard.
Well, I'm here to find
Krista. Here.
it. And any changes to the agenda?
We will not be
Here.
using,
What's that?
we won't be doing number 7, item B.
Item A?
B.
B. Okay. Alrighty, with that, entertain a motion. to Approve the agenda.
Yeah.
You make that motion?
Yes.
To approve the agenda. You're,
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
okay. We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes from April 8th, 2025.
I make a motion to approve them.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from April 8th, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Anybody here for the public forum? Okay. Go to public hearing. I now call agenda item 7A, public hearing for case number VA 2025-01, a request for vacation of complete access control in the I-1 industrial zoning district, base zoning district. Does any member of the planning commission wish to abstain from voting on this agenda? Let the record show there are no abstentions. We have a quorum of 4 commissioners present for the hearing. Does any member of the planning commission wish to report ex parte communications? Let the record show there are no ex parte communications have been reported. Secretary has reported that a notice for this hearing was published in the Heart Valley News on 4/10/2025, which is at least 20 days advance notice as required. Property owner and surrounding property owners were also notified by letter at least 20 days prior to this hearing. Therefore, I declare that notification requirements have been satisfied for this public hearing. I will now ask Dustin to present a brief case report and recommendations.
Thank you. VA 2025-01, vacation of portion of complete access control. It's going to be along here on Tigua Street, which is off of 63rd Street East or Woodlawn. Here's K254. The property owner is requesting a vacation of complete access control along Tigua Street and the north lot line of Lot 1, Block B, Young Industrial 3rd Edition. The owner is planning to build a shop and will need deliveries brought to the site. Having access control only on the south side of the property creates a problem for building placement, parking, and deliveries. The property was platted in 2019, zoned as I-1 Industrial District, and has complete access control along Tigua Street due to the plat. There have been no other zoning cases on this property. Adjacent zoning and land use to the north is county, residential highest and best use, undeveloped. South, east, and west are all I-1 for industrial. We've got commercial to the south and east. To the west, it is undeveloped. Tigua Street is a 2-lane paved collector street with curbs and inlets. Based upon information available prior to the public hearings, planning staff recommends that the request be approved. The recommendation is based on the following. Due and legal notice has been given, published in the Ark Valley News on April 10th, 2025. No private rights will be injured or endangered. Staff do not expect private rights will be injured or endangered. 3, public will suffer no loss or inconvenience. Staff do not expect loss or inconvenience to the public. 4, injustice to the petitioner. Injustice to the petitioners, the vacation should be granted. Attachments. Here we have an aerial map. Here's the drive to Meter Engineers. Here is Mammoth Storage and James Mason Enterprises. This is the subject lot right here. Again, that access control would be at this north lot line, allowing a driveway. Zoning map showing county, and all the purple is industrial. Future development plan map showing it as good for production. And then the potential site plan is showing a building here. With the current plat, no driveways or access is allowed on Antigua Street. So these two, this one and the one over here on the right side, would not be allowed. You would only be able to get over here on Mason and over here on Mason, which would create a problem for deliveries for semi-trucks coming in and then needing to back out for a delivery. It's not feasible at, whatsoever, but if they can pull around and through, it would make things a lot smoother for them. Site photos, subject property facing south, you can see James Mason. Subject property looking north, empty, few trees. East of the subject property, you can see Meter Engineers. And west of the subject property, vacant as well. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yes, I got a question for you, Dustin.
Go for it.
What was the reason for the access control originally?
We don't know. We've had, Matt's looked at it, we've had the city attorney look at it, we're not sure. The only thing that we can think of is keeping the street free of trucks turning in and out all the time. If you go to,
Matt said there's no sound.
I bet there is now. Okay, so the plat shows Antigua Street, and it, like I said, it limits access control to it, but the Mason Drive was put in to give access to these other lots that are around there. Like I said, the only thing that we can think of is that it's to help keep the street clear of traffic, of turning in and out.
Is there access control also in the property to the west and the southeast? So it goes all the way through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does any of that have anything to do with the bike or the walkway through there? So there's a really, I see a lot of people that are walking that little trail.
Right, I have, yes.
And I'm just concerned because right now there's no property that's breaking that crosswalk right now that actually has something on there. There's 2 already built driveways for properties in that area, and you're talking 2, so we're adding 4. So we're basically doubling the amount of breaks in that crosswalk.
Where would the other 2 be at? I know the ones that we indicated on the site plan here.
Yeah, I'd have to, not for this property. So,
Let me pull up a map.
sure.
Meter
If you look at the
engineers.
entire street, there currently is not any active properties that there are people driving through that walkway. Yes, if you could zoom in, we can see that up there is a driveway, future driveway,
Up here?
no. Right there, there's one. Believe that that is a future driveway. So that's breaking the crosswalk, and then if you go, southeast, keep going, zoom out a little bit.
It's not loading, let me. Okay, southeast from here,
Yep, keep going. Right in there, zoom in.
Matt said this only applies to the plat, not the
Yeah.
entire subdivision.
Right there.
yeah,
There's the
okay,
second one. So what
So-
I'm saying is there's 2 breaks right now for future development
yes,
that could get in the way of people that are using that pathway, right? And if
Yes.
we're adding 2 more to this plat, then we've doubled the amount of breaks in that crosswalk.
the plat that we are discussing here though is a little bit different than what I think we're looking at as a whole for the subdivision.
This access control was defined on the plat from meter engineer.
Yes,
And well, they probably, I'm just guessing, but when they put this on there, they kinda wanted access from that street that goes around there, what's that, Mason?
mm-hmm,
They were trying to get access off of there, I would imagine.
Right.
They just, I mean, it's just their preference when they did that.
yeah. So, the property, the first property that you had addressed here is over here on the plat. It is Young Industrial Second Edition, and the one that is the topic for the property is the third edition. So it's the one with the access control, because if we had access control over here on the second one, which would be this guy right here with the driveway, their only access would be off of Woodlawn and not Teaqua Street. Same goes for this one. This one is also second edition, Young Industrial Second Edition. And I believe Meter Engineers is a second edition as well. Yeah, so it kind of horseshoes around
Right.
the third edition.
Yeah, I just wanna share that, not necessarily a question, but my concern is, you've got Mason Drive there that is quite wider. So if people are walking through there, vehicles and the pedestrians can see that there's some traffic there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Want to be careful. If we're talking about in this particular property, that pathway looks a little bit narrower than the street. And I'd just be concerned that there's no stop signs or anything for traffic to make sure that vehicles and the pedestrians are safe in that breaking of that crosswalk.
Okay.
Isn't it all industrial?
Yeah, but where's this
Yeah.
hiking path through here? I know a lot of people use that quite a bit, not a hiking path, but there's a trail. It actually has signs, says trail ending, trail starting. There's a lot of people that walk through there.
Yeah, this sidewalk right here.
It's a very, it's a very wide sidewalk. It's not just your normal
Oh,
neighborhood
yeah.
sidewalk.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a lot of
Yeah.
people, a lot of families that,
from Rock Point
all the
to,
time.
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it comes all the way down here to Rock Road.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no.
No, it actually starts
No,
there.
it
by
starts
the-
over here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right in front of KHP.
So is there maybe some where did that pathway come through? It's just kind of interesting that that's there and in an industrial area too.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to figure out a way that we can
Hmm.
balance that.
I don't know. I know the police chief has the power to put stop signs where he thinks that they should be. It could be brought up with him that, hey, we'll need stop signs here.
Well, there's already stop signs on Mason Drive.
Okay,
So, but in your map here,
There's not on.
there's not on the
this
property
one.
here.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about here, right here. So that they're drawing,
drive going in off of Teagle or off of Mason?
Yes,
Two of
this
them,
right here.
two of them on
You wanna
Teagle,
go to
two
this,
of them on Mason.
this is where I'm concerned. I'm concerned here
Okay.
and here about vehicle traffic and pedestrian traffic.
Fair enough. Okay. What would alleviate that concern for you?
Potential marking, stop signs in that area, making sure that the visibility is good from each one of those driveways.
This is, I've never seen a stop sign
I know,
on a driveway.
I agree.
I mean, you're supposed to when you pull out onto a road from a driveway.
But we're,
Stop.
what kind of size of trucks are we talking that's gonna be using this driveway?
From my understanding, full-size,
Semis?
semis,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
what's the hour of operation?
8 to 5-ish.
And there's families going through there every evening about this time on a nice night. I actually drove through there on my way here and there were several people on that path.
The one thing that we can take into consideration is Mammoth Storage has not built their second phase yet, but given this building setback line along here would create enough of a view when exiting. The only thing that would be blocking here would just be a chain link fence, which would allow visibility to the southeast.
Where will those two properties get, will they have a driveway to
They,
the street
they have
too?
one. They have one
Right.
over here
Okay.
off of Mason.
Will lot 3 and lot 2 get one?
We don't know.
I don't know. They haven't,
Well,
They
they have to
haven't
have
asked-
access somehow. Oh, you're saying they could have the back access of that?
yeah, cause it's all one, they're just doing it in
So
phases.
Okay.
another
Yeah.
concern, if we give it here, then 2 and 3 also could have it, another driveway.
They would have to go through the same process that
Right.
this applicant is going through.
True, but precedent.
How
Thanks for
else are they
answering my
supposed to get
questions.
in and out of their drive?
Do what?
How else are they supposed to get in and out of their drive? You have to grant them an access.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dustin?
Is the sidewalk put there for the public to, is it a nature trail or a walking trail? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's no other reason why. I don't know, that's where I was hoping we'd understand a little bit of history where that walking trail came from.
Well,
Yeah.
the county put that road in, wasn't it? Dustin, you know?
I'm not
I
sure,
thought that
but
they-
it was in there, it looks like everything here was done in about 2019. Yeah, it's 'cause I said so earlier too. So that sidewalk and everything was put in before I got here, and I don't know what the purpose of it was at that time.
well, signs say it's a walking path. Sounds like that's,
Yeah,
What it
okay,
is.
just for, so this is to allow 2 driveways into Teagwood, right? Now, if the trucks didn't do that, they would back onto that basin and they'd come out across that walking path anyway.
they'd block
With the
traffic
road.
and everybody.
At least they'd be using the street.
Well, yeah, but,
They'd use Mason Drive as the street, and there is, I would imagine, the street is wider than these driveways, and the streets are set up in a way that is allowing visibility, has stop signs, can be enforced, just to make sure that everybody is seeing the traffic.
But if
before
a
they cross
semi's
the street.
turning, it takes up 2 lanes. It's so, if he's coming this way and a car's coming this way, this person's gotta wait for that semi comes all the way in, there could be 3 in a row. So he's waiting, the person over here can't walk either, cause there's a semi coming through.
Right, I
I think they're just doing this to make it flow.
I get it, but there's that walking trail, and why is the walking trail there? And I know people use it, and I just wanna, I would just say that I disagree with, really the private rights will be injured or endangered in that recommendation.
The private
Okay.
or public.
I'm sorry, the public.
All right, we can add that in there, but right now, any other questions?
Yeah, who makes the determinations for, stop signs and where they go?
Chief of police.
Then,
But not on here, correct? Not on this piece of property.
Yeah, not on.
Not on these driveways.
No, not on private property.
Right.
No.
But can they put signs up saying caution from 8 to 5, there's gonna be possibly heavy traffic?
You know, during the zoning process and the building permit process, because this is just a approximation of the site plan and everything, we can ask that they put stop signs up at the driveways along Tigua to help enforce, hey, you do need to stop before you exit.
If there was either a stop sign for those 2 driveways or something on the walking path to let the walkers know, caution, that would be fine with me.
Okay.
Just one question, Dustin, so I see the one you were talking about for the trucks, opposite of the entrance going across there, but the other one's in like a employee parking lot or something. Why do they need to have that other one?
Say that again, Richard?
I see the one access, that goes straight through for trucks.
Yes.
The other one is in an employee parking lot.
Yes, this one over
So-
here and this one here?
Yeah, and
Yes.
that one on the north side there,
Yeah.
I mean, why do they need that?
So the plan is that ThermoConnect is gonna take this bigger piece of the building
Okay.
and maybe another smaller one, I'm not sure over here, but these other 3 to maybe 4, I guess maybe 5 here, are going to be leased out to other tenants that need to that want to have a business in an industrial area.
So, but
So they'll need parking as well to
well, I
get
know
in
they
and,
need parking, but it's got access from Mason.
it does.
I was just wondering, so, you know, when you build a house, you know, you have one, you're allowed one access.
Mhm.
And so you try to limit the number of accesses people have. And I guess I don't quite see why they need that one. If the intent is to keep to a minimum the access control along Tigua,
Mhm.
then I can kind of see why you need one, you know, if there's truck traffic going through, they don't have to back up, but I'm not sure why the employee parking needs a second.
Well, but each building is probably leased to a different company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
I
you
think
have to
that,
you have to give them the access, and they have to have so many stalls per square foot per person.
I know, but they have access here to all these.
I think it's to keep the businesses
you
from
say
needing to
back
drive
here?
around each other.
You want them to come back here and to drive around the back of the buildings?
Oh,
Do
really?
you see this one?
This
right
is
here?
the access here for all the parking.
There's four driveways on this. Okay.
I'm just
So you're just,
I'm
this
just
is the
bringing up,
one
you know,
This is
if you
the
want,
one.
if you
in question.
want to limit access, then I see one that might not be required, but I can see a point why putting the truck through traffic through, but. Okay, any other questions for Dustin?
No, so this isn't, these are just, it's
Pedestrians
not
should
set
be
in, I
walking
mean, they're not
at
already
every
there, right?
intersection,
Hilbert's,
stopping at every
this is just a
intersection,
concept,
Yeah.
a concept?
Yeah.
Correct.
So what you're saying is, okay, that we don't want that one there, right?
People should have common sense when they're out there and know when to stop or something.
That was my concern.
It is.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
it's not, it's the
it's
truck.
hard- it's half
The
of it,
semis, yeah.
This one?
The semis.
So, the access control, you have one foot, so that's defined in the zoning regulations? No?
The,
What, when they put access control on people, where does that come from? The city or the city attorney?
either the city says, hey, I know you, Brad Young, you're wanting to plat this area,
Mhm.
we want access control on Tigua Street, or it's the developer's idea. So but the vacation and everything is within the zoning regs. It's just a blurb that you guys can do a vacation of access, or of several things, but,
I have obviously no evidence here, but I feel like that the access and control was put into place for this walking trail.
I don't, I was here when we did that, and I think the county put that road, from what I remember, they said they would put in this, it's a frontage road, goes along there, and they added the sidewalk. There was nothing, well, is that actually on, that's on the plat?
the sidewalk,
Yeah,
yeah, it's this light gray arch up here on the north side.
yeah, I guess I can't say. But it ends like at KDOT.
Correct.
Yeah,
And-
it starts
And
at
then,
KDOT,
people have to walk on the road after that.
Yes.
and then it goes down to,
It's very silly, but I'm telling you, I see families walking on their dogs, I see strollers. I mean, there are families that utilize this on a nice night.
Was it put there for them to do that?
Yes, well, I don't know, but it is a double. It is not just your
I thought you-
sidewalk, it's
But
double.
if you see how big the industrial area is,
I get it.
it could,
There's
someone
a-
could build
there's
a
a sign
10-story
right
building and
there.
people need to walk to and from work.
There's a sign,
I
someone
think
put
that
it.
Like
Yeah.
Coke, you know?
It's for walking.
Right, but it wasn't put in for us to go walk our dogs.
Yes, it is. I believe it is.
I think
It
it
actually has
Oh,
sign that
yeah.
says walking.
Right, but if you see all the other vacant parts, it's an industrial area,
I get
so
it. I get it.
there
But
could
people
be.
wouldn't be walking on that to go from this
Well, it's
parking
because
lot
there's
to
nothing there
another.
right now, but wait till it gets all built up.
so,
Only a home
What-
again.
I think if they put something, hey, from 8 to 5, heavy traffic or something, or even some stop signs, that's fine, but I don't think you should.
the recommendations that I have given of approval are based on the following findings. These are the 4 things that need to be covered
Right.
to address the vacations of it. The one, due and legal notice is given, no private rights will be injured or endangered, the public will suffer no loss or inconvenience, and 4, in justice to the petitioners, the vacation should be granted.
Okay, well,
I present what I can to you guys,
Right.
and you guys go off of those 4 right there for a vacation. And if you don't feel that they add up, I get paid the same.
okay, thank you, Dustin.
Yep.
No other questions for Dustin? Thank you, Dustin. Is the applicant here?
No.
No? I got a question, because this is referring to a different one, but Vaughn, when he had a, request before the planning commission, he had no idea that it was being presented, 2 different times. We had one and then we actually, delayed it till the next meeting. I was gone for the next meeting, and Mark,
Mark stepped in and,
stepped in, but when I talked to Vaughn, he had no idea that it was gonna be held that night. So my question is, when I asked you if the applicant's here, does he even know
Yes.
it's being, okay?
Yep.
Alrighty, and I will now open the public hearing.
Yeah, zoning, or zoning,
Anybody?
zoning, zoning or zoning, what can I say?
Yeah, well, I actually signed up for the other one, but I would like to speak into this one.
Alright, go ahead.
Joni Harris, 109 West Chippewa Street, Commissioners. I really appreciate, Eric, that you're speaking up for the sidewalk. There's actually a huge pond out there too, and there's a lot of people that go out to that pond, and people are riding bikes, walking up and down that whole sidewalk area. I realize it's a fine balance between industrial development and what's been put in place for the enjoyment of people to get out and safely enjoy walking and biking and taking your dog and all those things. So I would like that taken into consideration in your final decision. So thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, something.
Just a minute, let public, anybody else from the public wish to speak?
It's not a pond, it's a retention pond KDOT makes them put in for drainage.
It's fishing, they fish there.
But KDOT made them do that.
I mean,
So, I mean, it wasn't like they did it for like, hey, it's a park. KDOT made that area for drainage and made them put that in there, to be able to develop that area. So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying, it wasn't put in just for recreational reasons. To develop that area, they had to have proper drainage, and KDOT made them put that there,
right, I agree.
or they wouldn't be able to develop any of that ground.
Anything else?
Are we talking about the same drainage pond? The one that's over by the, not this one, it's not this one. This one's private, this is fenced off. Can't get to that.
Oh, it's
I
further
haven't
down.
seen
It's
the other
further
pond.
down.
It's further down, it's even after the sidewalk.
Well, I don't see it, I don't on here, I just see this, and that looks like something that KDOT
Okay,
makes
but,
you put in for retention, for water drainage.
yes, but I believe that that is not what Joni was talking about.
Well, I don't,
It's very large. People go in there and fish.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's not fenced off. It's open.
They fish there, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Have anything else? Has the secretary or zoning administrator received any written or verbal comments?
No.
Dustin, none?
None.
Any comments by chance from meter engineer?
None.
No? Any final comments from the public? Hearing no further comments, I hereby close the public hearing.
This is the pond.
So is,
Hang on, we're gonna go, do you got a question?
well, I just wanna know if his comments are gonna be put in.
No, we're gonna go through those. We're
Okay.
gonna add, those are what he's suggesting.
Cheryl, what were you asking,
And you
what
can
he
put
is
in.
suggesting?
Yes.
You
I
want
do
to-
make note that there is concerns about the public safety on the walking path. I do add that on there, yes,
Okay, great, thank you.
yes.
And the fenced area clearly is a retention pond, cause you can't fish in one of those anyway. I didn't see, I've never been back there. So I don't walk over there, I walk on the other side of Kechi.
Okay, we'll go through the same questions that Dustin had there. Due and legal notification has been given, I think we all agree there. Then the second question is no private rights will be injured or endangered. What do you wanna add in there? So, possible, interference with the
Not for two,
walking trail?
but
Number
three.
three.
Three?
For three.
Oh, okay, no private rights. The public will suffer. So state for the secretary to add in there what you want added on number 3.
Well, I would like to know if there's actually evidence on why that access control is put in place, and if that has anything to do with the walking path. Number 1. Number 2, if that's not the case, and we proceed with 4 entrances to that piece, the 2 north entrances need some type of indication that there is going to be traffic.
Okay, so number 3 is you're responding to, what the public will suffer.
Yeah, someone's gonna get hurt. Someone's
Okay,
gonna get
well,
hurt.
that's what you gotta add
Yes,
to 3.
sorry,
Right, yeah.
yes.
And then the other is with the conditions you put on a
Gotcha.
motion.
Okay, thank you.
And we can, there's 3 motions, we can, if you do want answers to those questions, you can certainly table the thing and get answers to that for next meeting, so. But right now, can you kind of state what you want added, or what did you put in, Chris? For number 3?
That he would like a reason to why the walking trails are there. He wants to have, if we perceive that he wants some type of indicator put on both of those.
Okay, that's, like I said, so we need to kind of state what you want added in number 3. How the public will be.
They'll get
suffer.
hurt.
Number 3,
They'll
I
get
believe
hurt.
there's a safety issue.
Okay.
Mhm.
Safety issue with the sidewalk,
Walking trail.
walking.
Mhm.
So safety issue with walking trail, possible. So I've got put, possible, there's a safety issue with the walking trail. Traffic in the walking trail. Very good. Anything else? Okay, and then,
So if this isn't put in, they're still gonna get deliveries in and out, it's just gonna be very inconvenient for everybody, correct?
I don't know if they will develop if they don't have that.
Ah.
And that's neither here nor there, but
Okay,
that is, I think it kinda rides, their future plans rides on this.
gotcha,
That's, again, neither here nor there.
okay, this is like a preliminary plat,
This isn't even
It's not a plat.
not a
No.
plat at all. This is just,
oh, I did,
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
any other comments from anybody? So at this point, will entertain a motion. Unless you have any other questions for.
So, like, don't we make a motion to table this until we,
That would be absolutely,
a good thing?
Yeah.
To
I think
table
so.
this till we, table this,
And kind of put in there, then you could put in there, for them to find out these answers to these questions.
yeah,
You can also have that those questions be answered at council as well.
But then you don't get recommendation. You gotta make a recommendation now or table it.
yeah, so I'm gonna make a recommendation to table this, case number VA 2025-01 until,
June 10th.
okay, so, okay, it's right here, so I move that this, no, this is not a public hearing, is it? Is it?
Yes,
Well, the public
is.
hearing's done. This, right now, you're just making a motion.
Yeah, this is, this one, so I need to,
Don't we just read number 5?
yes.
Oh, I
That's it.
move that this public hearing, no, that's, oh.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yes, you're right.
Read
you're
number
right,
5.
You're right.
I move that this public hearing be adjourned until the scheduled planning commission meeting on 6/10/2025 to allow time to consider how to address
Those are the two questions
the
that
two
you got.
questions. I don't know.
Just what you had, Chris.
Yeah,
That was good.
the safety issue and
Access
the-
control due to the walking path, answering that question.
and the safety
And
issue.
if we were to go ahead, can we put up an indication of traffic, because someone will get hurt, it is a safety issue,
Mhm.
something along those lines, is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
So that's your motion, Cheryl?
that is my motion.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay, and,
I second that.
okay. Before we vote on that, Chris, is there something on the site triangle that, for this thing here, if you put in a driveway, isn't there something?
There is.
Huh?
There is. But with the building setback, if you look at that site plan that they have, you can see the building setback arching around, and that will continue down onto the Mammoth storage lots. There's a dotted line, I can pull it back up again, but that's the building setback. There would be more than enough site triangle along there.
Okay. Could I ask you to add one more thing to answer on that? Is the one from the parking lot, is that access really needed?
You would need to
I
make a
guess you would
motion.
ask since the applicant's not here.
You'd have to make a new motion, cause you both made the motion and seconded it, so you would have to create a new motion.
Well, she can amend it. and-
Amend the motion. Which one was that? This is the wrong.
Amend the motion
Oh,
to,
it was here, it was here.
Now, you don't have to, I mean, you can just amend it. We just add
Yeah,
that to
we'll
your
just
motion.
amend.
Just ask the applicant whether that access to the employee parking lots really required.
So can I make that a motion, amend?
Just add, yeah,
Yeah,
and
just-
just
So
make
like
amend motion to also ask.
Okay, so I'd like to amend the motion to also ask the applicant if we need to, or if we can, eliminate one, access to the employee parking
Off Keeble.
off Tequila.
Okay, and you second?
I second that.
You,
So you want to take out the one on Teagle and leave it on Mason?
tell me your name.
Eric.
No,
Cheryl.
no, Cheryl, okay. So, I have a motion by Cheryl, second by Eric, to table this public hearing, to answer those three questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So, motion carries unanimous. Okay,
the second one, we have to table as well.
okay.
We do not have a quorum for it, so it will need to be addressed in June as well. One of the, we can't have somebody vote on this issue, on the second one.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, you confused me there for a minute.
I have to go sit in the hallway on
Yeah.
that one.
No.
Oh, and going good?
Yep.
Gonna be done end of July?
Hope so.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second that. Third that.
All in favor? Opposed?
Okay, which one of you spoke first?
Yeah,
Both of you yelled second, didn't you?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.